Welcome, everyone, to the first recorded Stehreel game. This will be broken up into several segments and posted on YouTube in the False Heroes Productions channel for Stehreel. For those of you in the audience who are watching for the first time, welcome. I'm going to try and go slow and explain any roles that aren't self-explanatory as I encounter them or as we encounter them. What you're seeing right here is just our little introduction screen, and here in a minute we'll go through some introductions. I'll ask players to say their name so that you can recognize their voice in the future when they're yelling at me to stop killing them. So, who wants to go first? Reid?
I guess I will.
How about the GM introduce himself, as he has not yet, and he has been talking for a while?
Silence, Philistine. All right. My name is James. My tag on the screen is Raven Nekros. I am GMing this game. I'm the creator of Stehreel, and I've been working on this project for over a decade now, which sounds really like a lot of time because it is. Reid?
Do I have to say all that kind of stuff?
No.
Okay.
Just introduce yourself.
All right. I'm Reid. I am playing Asheryn, the Mountain Elf Thief.
Colin?
I am Colin. I am playing Eryx, the Caldera Demon Chronomancer.
Heath?
I'm Heath. I will be playing Alasdair Grimm, the Mountain Elf Berserker.
Carissa?
Hi, I'm Carissa. I'm playing Anne, the Mountain Elf Transmuter.
All right. You probably don't know all of the classes, but you'll get used to them as the game progresses. This is the first time that we're all gaming together on the same game, so there's bound to be some hitches, some hiccups, some friction, whatever.
I kill you. I mean, sorry.
I would ask that we keep the talking over or talking through other players to a minimum. Keep in mind that pauses are going to occur, and when they do occur, that does not mean that you need to bust through them like the Kool-Aid man going through a wall.
Oh, yeah!
Knew that was coming. All right. I'm also going to try and keep the game moving. We aren't going to have a whole lot of time, especially not tonight since we had so many technical difficulties. But we're not going to have a lot of time during an evening of gaming, so I'm going to want to keep the game moving. If you have out-of-character things to say or snippets to add, try to keep them to a minimum. And if you do not, I will edit your ass out. Just saying. Okay.
So, don't have fun. All right.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. No
There's
fun.
no fun to be had. No fun.
All right.
Yeah, when you listen to this at home, remember, add your own fun to your game.
Right. Right. I expect to see riff tracks all over the place. All right. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through a brief introduction to each one of the characters. And by that I mean I'm going to run a small little snippet focused on each individual character, tell them where they started, tell them how they ended up where we are at in the start of our game. This time I'll actually ask someone to volunteer to go first.
All right, fine, me. Jeez.
Very daring. Very daring.
I was clumsy.
Cowards.
Oh, hey, I forgot I muted myself. Huh. Well, since Reid jumped up there, then I guess you can go ahead and go.
All right. Asheryn, you were busy in the country of Lunatria that you call home, making your living as a thief, because as we all know, that's what thieves do, make a living. Then you were approached on a street by a woman who seemed to know who you were. She was dressed in bronze robes and was not a moon elf, unlike the majority of the blue-skinned populace wandering through the streets around you. Instead, she was a mountain elf, Eldar, in a city of mostly Drukar. Pale skin, long brownish red hair, and most piercing ice blue eyes you have probably ever seen. And since you've seen a lot of blue eyes, that's saying something. She didn't seem to know your name, but she did seem to know that she was looking for you directly. Excuse me, sir.
Real quick, James, when is this happening? I mean, if I'm working...
It's the middle of the evening. It's a busy street. It's after the end of your introduction, but previous to a whole lot of shenanigans. You're still in the middle of building your empire. Did that answer your question, or do you need more?
No, I just need to know. I just need to know if I'm on a job right now or if I'm just walking along the street.
Oh, you're just walking along the street.
Thank you for the grand scheme, but I was just looking for the little narrow.
You're walking along the street. You haven't made a mark yet.
Okay. All right. Yes.
I'm looking for a person of particular talents who might be able to help in a rather special endeavor. You wouldn't happen to know anyone with particular talents, would you? She seems to be putting a lot of stress on the words particular talents.
Mercenary Guild can be found in the Bear District.
Looking a little flustered that you don't seem to have gotten her very direct indirection, she sidles a little bit closer and says, I wasn't looking for a mercenary with particular talents, but a skilled... what is the right word? Thief?
I see. All right. Come with me.
She seems relieved that you have finally gotten what she was hinting at, and begins to follow you.
Okay, I'm going to lead her down an alley.
Seemingly quite naive, the woman follows you down the alley.
As soon as we're in enough darkness, out of the sight of the passers-by, draw a knife to throat.
She squeaks, looking, eyes widening quite a bit as she looks at the knife and at you. She looks like she wants to swallow, but is afraid that doing so might end with her throat cut.
Jobs are usually better sent through proper channels. Who sent you?
She seems to think about that for a moment. Not so much measuring whether or not to tell you the truth as trying to decide which is the answer that's going to result in her still living. She says, finally, The School of Wizardry.
And what does the School of Wizardry need with a thief?
A special mission. I was not given the details, she replies.
So you're a mage, then?
Yes, she nods very rapidly in agreement. Well, as rapidly as she can with a knife to her throat.
I'm assuming that this isn't an act. She seems like she's pretty much on the up and up, but that she was not expecting something like this.
It's the naivete is definitely not an act. If you'd like to roll for anything else, you may, but she's pretty much wearing her thoughts on her sleeve.
Okay. I'll lower the knife and resheath it.
They're willing to pay for the assistance.
Well, that's good. I don't exactly do pro bono work. How did you hear about me?
Well, I didn't really. I just I saw you on the street, and I had the impression that you could help me.
What?
Well, you see, a flush comes to her cheeks. Sometimes I see things about people, and it's a little bit difficult to explain, but it's really quite handy, especially in this circumstance, where it seems to have led me to just the right person. She smiles as if this is the most understood thing in the world.
Bemused. All right. Well, I can't see that's the strangest thing I've ever heard anybody said. And you magic types are, well, want to do that sort of thing, I suppose. Time, then, I'm assuming?
How did you guess? She asks, eyebrows raised, as if expecting you to do another magic trick.
I live in a city where about seemingly a third of the populace wears those colors.
The blush darkens on her cheeks. Well, if you know that, then perhaps you know that we work on specific timetables, and your agreement has taken about 2.5 minutes longer than I planned for.
I'm not agreeing to anything until I hear about the job. And since you don't seem to know anything about it, maybe you should take me to whoever does.
Certainly. If you will just come with me. And she turns around and immediately heads towards the exit of the alley.
Follow after.
She leads you through the warren and towards the Triune of Knowledge, often called the Sector of the Tiger, or Karia's area of the city, where you find the Enclave of Wizardry. That looks so ostentatious that perhaps they could have spared some expense by simply having a very large, multicolored flashing sign pointing at it saying, "This is the Enclave of Wizardry." At the entrance, she calmly walks through the door, heads right up to a moon elf who is standing on duty looking a little bored, and tells them that she has brought with her a person to send to the wizard school for debriefing. And then she tells you it's going to be about an hour wait.
Well, don't let me keep you then.
Meanwhile, stepping away from Asheryn for the moment, while he waits for his transport to the School of Wizardry, who would like to pick up next?
Fire away.
All right. Alasdair, you are in the state of Garnet in the Federal Republic of Kavon, doing your Berserker thing, which at the moment involves getting fairly drunk at a local pub. When...
I'm not drunk, I've only had 5.
Ah, well then you're not even tipsy yet. But it's while you're drinking that a person comes through the entrance to the pub, and it's a big man. Not a mountain elf, not even an Eldar. This one is Drukar, meaning elf of the darkness. Different species. Now this Drukar is a star elf, which means that he's purple of skin. And he's dressed in gleaming armor with a bronze surcoat and a half-cape of bronze that looks rather shiny. He's got a big old two-handed sword across his back, and he fills the doorway, towering over even some of the Eldar, which is strange for the shorter Drukar races. He's looking around the pub, seeming to be gauging and metering the different patrons. And finally his eyes fall on you, and a big grin, a flash of white teeth, splits his broad face. And with a thunderous thump, he strides over to where you're sitting. Are you at the bar, or are you at an individual table?
I will be at an individual table drinking alone.
All right. He strides up to the table, places both hands down on the table, knuckles first, leans down, and says, "You look like the adventuring type."
I suppose that depends.
"On what?" he asks.
What and where?
"Ah, well, it seems that some foul business has occurred far in the lands to the south, and they have need of a powerful warrior. It seems like you might be the one I need."
I will stand up and bellow out quite loudly. You hear that, lads? The southern wee folk need a real warrior, so they've come for me.
He doesn't seem to take offense at the words, but you do hear some cheers from other Garnet folk who seem pleased by your pride.
Alright then, stranger. I've got me club, I've got me kilt. I'm ready to go.
With a big grin, he claps you on the shoulder with one meaty hand, and he says, "Good! Then follow me. We head to the Enclave of Wizardry, where we'll send you spinning through the dimensions right where you need to go."
Alright, I'll offer a hand. The name's Alasdair Grimm, and who might you be?
"Ah, my name's Gunther Harbinger," he says. "A fair knight of Schatzenburg, far to the south." And he claps your hand.
Well, I don't know about any of that, but you seem well enough. Let's get on to this wizard folk. Get me where I need to be.
All right. And he leads the way. The city that you're in is one of the major cities of Garnet State. So it does have its own enclave. He leads you there, directs you to the cellar where a bunch of purple-robed ninny-hammers are fluttering about and drawing marks on the ground like they're doodling or something. And he says, just wait here a bit. They'll finish up soon and take you where you need to go.
Whose heads need thumping in the south?
I'm not quite sure, but certainly some demons to kill.
Ugh, I've got a nose for those. I'll take care of your problem.
Excellent, he says. And then, with another friendly clap on the shoulder, he heads back upstairs and leaves you alone while they carve out your ritual. All right, stepping back from Alasdair, who's next?
You can do me. I don't know if it makes sense, though.
It does. You're sitting at the School of Wizardry, Eryx, in class, when the not the Archmagus, but the Chronomagus of your tower, Alvin, steps into the room and eyeballs you right where you're at. He says, Eryx, come over here.
Gonna look around a little bit at everybody, kind of like, did he really just call me? Slowly kind of get up and walk over to him. Yes, Master Magus?
He looks up at you because he's definitely shorter than your rather large height. And he says, Eryx, I've got a mission for you. I need you to head down to the basement of the gravity tower and talk to the Omniomancer on duty there and have them send you south to Schatzenburg.
A mission?
Yes. Yes, I hear that they're assembling a team. You're going to have to work with others. I hope you don't have a problem with that. If you do, get over it really quick. And if you don't, oh, that's fantastic, because they've got problems and they need a wizard, and you're the one.
Really? Me?
Yes. I don't think you've been on a mission for the school yet, so make sure to gather all of the supplies you might need before you head to the tower. But make it quick. We're on a timetable here.
Yes, Master.
Eryx, it's just Magus, not your master.
One of these days, Master, I will get that.
Right. Just not today. Head on out, Eryx. I'll talk to you when you get back.
Nod and go back to my desk, grab my stuff, and head up to the tower to my room.
All right. Once there,
gather my equipment, my robes, any caffeine that I would have on hand, and rush out the door.
all right. Once you've gathered all your supplies, you head out quickly, head down, feet moving quickly, all the way to the gravity tower, to the basement, where you tell them what you're there for, and they start drawing up a ritual for you.
Stand nervously and watch.
All right. Stepping back from Eryx, I guess that leaves Anne.
Yep.
All right. And you're in class. No, you're not in class. You're in your rooms at the academy. When you hear a knock at the door.
go over and open the door.
Outside the door, you see a green-coated professor-ranked transmuter who looks you up and down as if inspecting you for flecks of dust.
Hello? Hello?
Yes. Is this the room of Anne Shirley? He questions.
Yes, sir, that's me.
Excellent. I was told by your instructors at the academy that you were top of your class. Is that correct, Miss Shirley? He asks.
Well, yes. Yes, it was.
Excellent. Would you like to go on a mission for the academy to assist the country of Schatzenburg to the south? He asks.
Yes, certainly.
Colin is now muted. Well, then. Please gather your things, any of your necessities that you might need, and attend yourself to the Wizards' Enclave in the city proper. They will know where you are to go.
Is there anything of significance that I should plan to bring with me?
His nose scrunches up slightly at the questioning, but he nods and he says, "Yes, I would bring a warm coat." And with that, he turns punctiliously on his heel and makes his way away from your room.
She shuts the door. Grumpy head. She is packing a bag and includes any books she might have on the Star Elves and heads out to the Enclave as instructed.
All right. Your journey through the city to the Enclave is a short and easy one. The streets are bustling with their plethora of thanks, Reid. Bustling with a plethora of different races, and you make your way to the enclave and head in enclave and head inside. Once there is a pale, pink-eyed Drukar, one of the cave elf folk, dressed in purple robes, who directs you to the basement where they're setting up a ritual to send you south.
Okay, head downstairs.
All right. Which means we come back to Asheryn, who is the only one out of the entire party who wanted further clarification.
None of the rest of them are going to get paid.
You are sent through a portal created by the Omniomancers, Wizards of Gravity, to the School of Wizardry on its island that's floating above the waters of the Hanvalorn Sea. There, you are taken to a rather important-looking office in the top of a tower, where you find a purple-skinned elderly man, probably somewhere in his 400s, maybe nearing his 500s even, who is dressed in robes that have glittering runework all across them. His Black hair has gone to gray, and it's sort of sticking out in many different directions, rather wavy. And he has eyebrows that appear to have more life to them than some men's scalps. His eyes, despite his kind of elderly appearance, his eyes are rather clear and focused as he looks at you. Ah, my boy. You're that thief that they hired, aren't you? He asks.
Attempting to hire.
Oh, that's why you're in my office. I couldn't figure it out. I figured they would have sent you straight away to the castle of Elbenwasser, and yet here you are in my office. Clarification, I suppose. So, what do you need to know before you'll say yes?
What am I doing, and how much are you paying me?
Good questions. Good questions. Well, here's the deal. There is a baroness in the Barony of Elbenwasser, county of Auskrumpt, to the north of Blechten Duchy, in Schatzenburg. Her estate is having a little bit of trouble. It seems the Omniomancer on duty there has sent request for aid. He was very specific in the needs that he brought to our attention. He needed magical assistance, physical assistance, the assistance of those with skill, such as yourself. So what you would be doing is journeying to this barony and assisting the Omniomancer on duty with anything that he required. It should be, I don't know, a few nights' worth of work. Nothing huge. For which we're willing to pay you... What's the current exchange rate? 30 gold triads.
Double it.
Double it? Well... He rubs his chin, which at one time may have sported quite the scraggly beard, but now was clean-shaven. Well, double it. I'm not sure I've got that much in my privy purse.
Asheryn looks around the office as if though he could look through the walls and see all the towers floating miles above the ocean.
Well, 35? He asks.
50.
40, and I'll throw in a fancy doily.
47.
45?
46.
You must have the last word, haven't you? All right, 46 it is.
And before you continue, hazard pay.
Hazard pay? How about this? 47 gold triads, and we won't ask for a percentage of anything that the Baroness pays you for her services.
Done.
He grins. Fantastic! He offers his hand to shake.
Asheryn shakes his hand.
Now, if you would like that money now...
After the job's done. No reason to pay me if I die.
I do so like a man with sense. Very well, I will pay you once you return. And he immediately goes back to reading a book, seemingly unconcerned, and feeling that you will probably find your own way out.
Turn around and leave the office.
Heading down to the base of the tower once more.
Yeah, anything interesting on the way?
Not really. The halls of the Omniomancer Tower, that's probably what it's called anyway. The halls here are kind of bare and utilitarian. There was one interesting occurrence where somebody just sort of walked through a wall. But it seemed to have been an accident, because the poor man, a forest elf, green of skin, looked around, completely perplexed as to how he had arrived there.
Anything of value?
Not until you get down to the foyer of the tower, previous to heading towards the basement where the rituals are set up. There in the foyer, you do find a number of objects of value. There's a number of solid silveren candlesticks, a painting that looks like it's an original First Era work, one of the earliest pieces post-Cataclysm, and a rather focused Omniomancer seems to be compressing a ball of pure diamond.
The things you see with mages. All right, make notes of this. Make note of the candlesticks and the painting, and then head down to the basement.
Okay. You head down to the basement. Await your ritual. All right. I'm now moving you all to your destination map. The first person to arrive on the scene is Eryx. Eryx.
Yes.
You step through the portal created by the Omniomancers in the base of the Tower of Gravity onto, a green, grassy, flat field of some kind. It's not huge, and as you look behind you, you see that it's artificial. There's a wall behind you, and all around, in fact, this platform. In front of you, in the center of the platform, is a tree. It seems to be growing from the center, and it's rather tall. And beyond that is a glass window that occupies the entire wall. To the left and right of that glass window are stone walls of a fortress that seem to be reaching up towards the sky. You hear...
Is there
Go ahead.
a ceiling?
No. You are standing in the open air.
But there are walls all around. Are there any doors?
In the glass window ahead of you, there seems to be 2 glass doors leading into the fortress itself. Behind you, you can see a city stretched out below, over the wall.
Okay. I was feeling trapped for a moment.
There is quite a lot of open sky above you. It is while you are standing there that a portal opens up off to your right, and a Mountain Elf woman steps through. Anne, would you like to describe to Eryx what he sees?
Well, a Mountain Elf woman with bright orangish red hair in a green, I don't know if you would recognize the uniform of the Transmuters, but a green jacket, asymmetrical, brown skirt underneath, and carrying a bag with a rapier at one hip.
And what does Anne see, Eryx?
She sees a 7-foot-tall, yellow-skinned demon with a long tail. He is gold in skin. He's got short mercury hair. He is wearing robes of bronze that seem to shimmer a bit. And he is looking around the room kind of wide-eyed.
You can feel free to talk to one another.
Hello, are you my contact? Or she pauses as if realizing that this might be her target. But at that point, the words have already escaped.
Look at her a little bit timidly. Were you sent from the school?
Oh, yes. Well, I was sent from the academy, but sent through the school. Were you sent from the school? She eyes his robes.
Yes. This apparently I would be. Then yes, I believe I am your contact. To stand up a little bit straighter, I am your contact with the school.
Oh, good. She switches her bag from one hand to the other and holds out her hand to shake. My name is Anne. Anne with an E. And you are?
I'll hold my hand out, big meaty thing that it is. Eryx.
And why are we here?
Because my Magus sent us here.
It is about this time, as you are having your introductions, that to the north, in front of the tree, another portal opens up, and out steps a mountain elf in a kilt. Alasdair, would you like to tell these two what they see?
A mountain elf, dark red hair, bright blue eyes, tattoo around his left eye that's starting to work its incomplete. He's carrying a spiked club that looks kind of like a quarterstaff, with one half of it being a thicker spiked metal club, and he is chewing on a dried piece of meat, looks at the two of you, drops it to the ground, and shouts, "Och, stand back, lass! I'll take care of the beastie!"
You can feel the presence of demons, Alasdair. And, well, your eyes tell you why. There's a demon there.
Look at the new Mountain Elf arrival with shock and almost fear. What? No, wait, no.
And calmly steps between the two. If you will just hold on 1 second, good sir.
Alasdair leaps forward, knocking Anne out of the way. "All right, you foul beast! Prepare to meet your doom!"
Facepalm. All right. Here we are. First confrontation. Before either of you can roll initiative, however, another portal opens up. Well, I guess you don't even roll initiative. What am I talking about? I'm thinking a different system. And out steps a blue man. What do they see, Asheryn?
They see what they assume to be a moon elf, dressed all in blacks and grays and dark blues, with a cowl pulled up over his head, which is why they can only assume that he's a mountain elf, because his face is shadowed so deeply.
Moon elf, you mean?
Moon elf, sorry, moon elf. He's cloaked and looking around, gathering his bearings.
What Asheryn sees is a big yellow demon, and facing off with a rather querulous-looking Mountain Elf Berserker. And a small Mountain Elf woman besides.
Picking herself up off the ground.
I'm assuming none of you are the Baroness or the Omniomancer.
I'm not even paying attention. I'm paying attention to the spiked club coming at my face.
And Anne is fumbling for her stylus. No, we're not.
Which is about the time that you're all interrupted. Previous to actually drawing blood, there is... is that the right one? There is an exclamation and a hurried smattering as a man runs out from the north up to the tree, holding up his hands. Wait! Wait, everyone! He is purple of skin, a star elf, dressed in purple robes. Alasdair, are you paying any attention?
Och, what's all this? Can a man smash a demon in peace around here?
The star elf waves his hands, but he's sent from the school. He's here to help.
Oh, why didn't you say so there, son? And I'll smack the demon hard on the arm. But you can understand when you walk around looking like a big ugly demon out to do no good.
Wince at the smack and say, "Yeah, I get that a lot."
The star elf approaches. Now that he feels like he's averted catastrophe.
Alasdair will move over and pick up his piece of dried meat, wipe it off on his kilt, and begin chewing on it again.
Oh, thank goodness you've all arrived, the star elf says. I assume you're the help that the School of Wizardry sent?
Aye, there was some talk about you puny folk needing some warriors.
Yes, I was sent from the academy.
Something like that.
I'm quietly watching.
Oh, all right, good. Yes, we do need warriors. We do need warriors. We also need we need all of you. Really we do. He glances back towards the building, a little harried. I'm so sorry. I didn't introduce myself. I am Alexander Kraus. I am the head Omniomancer for Castle Elbenwasser. And I'm the one who's requested your aid. Can I get your names, please, good friends? He looks very endearing.
I'll go ahead and step forward at this point. I am Chronomancer Eryx from the school.
Chronomancer Eryx, a pleasure to meet you.
My name is Anne Shirley. I was sent by the academy.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance, Ms. Shirley? Miss Shirley?
Ms. is fine.
Yes. Very well.
Alasdair Grimm. Excuse me. At your service. Here to bash whatever skulls need bashing.
Oh, yes, Mr. Grimm, a pleasure.
Asheryn.
Yes, Mr. Asheryn, sir. Well, the problems, unfortunately, the problems here are a little bit severe. There's a crash from inside the building, thunderous pounding, and the shout of a female voice calling something to order. Alexander shudders and looks towards the fortress.
Is that something we should be concerned about?
No, yes, very yes, yes.
Perhaps you should just go ahead and explain quickly.
Oh, but it takes so much to explain. He looks forlorn and lost for a moment. You see, well, everything's gone to hell. And unfortunately, our time is running low, so we may have to end the session, the introduction session, right there. But thoughts?
Yeah, gave us a fair opportunity to meet everybody at least.
I'm gonna have to start, muting my microphone every time that Heath talks, because I just crack up every time.
My work here is done.
Honestly, laugh, have fun. I don't. If we're too serious, if we're trying to be quiet and too serious, nobody's gonna want to watch.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna be enjoying it. Laugh, have fun.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I see what James was trying to do, keeping us all on track after the amount of tangents that we've had before.
Oh, I agree.
Oh, no, this was the one freebie. I'm making the jokes out loud. I'm sorry. I was just doing it tonight because we had a short time.
No worries. Fun is acceptable. I was more meaning to try to avoid shooting off track and getting away from the actual playing of the game. If you want to have fun inside the game, that's by all means, please.
I kind of wanted to fight that.
And I was trying to debate if I did a wall between them, if it would do any good, or if the Berserker would just leap over the top.
You don't know it yet, but he is a prodigious leaper.
Well, I have a feeling that Alasdair is one of those types of guys that if you really wanted to, you could just go up to him and say, "Hey, want to fight?" And he'd go, "All right."
Yeah, I took a lot of inspiration from oh shoot, I'm having a brain fart. Doctor Who.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. His vacations to Scotland.
Oh yes, the little potato head. I can't remember what his name is right now. All right. Well,
But no, good introduction.
um,
Good introduction.
fantastic. We will start the next session around 8 next Sunday, as long as we're all able to make it by then. If there are any situations in which you cannot make it or you're going to be late, just let me know, and I will plan for it. Because of the prevalence of magic in Stehreel, it's very easy to pull people out or put people back in as needed for a specific session.
Yeah, and I believe you said that you designed this in such a way.
Alright, I shouldn't have any problems actually being on time this time, since I don't plan on going anywhere this next weekend.
Rocco, what were you saying, Reid?
Just saying that, as I recall, you specifically set this up in such a way so that it should be easy to drop in, drop out if necessary. Hopefully, it's not necessary.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not. But I think this is a good introduction. We got to see a little bit of everybody's character. And I'm really looking forward to the next one.
Me too.